Good morning! Today I'm in a 2015 BMW 535. This BMW has the N55 3.0 inline-six twin-scroll turbo engine. It's all-wheel drive and has an 8-speed automatic transmission. So let me start off with the interior of the car. So the interior is this really nice chocolatey brown color. It has a really nice feel. The leather is definitely a great quality. There's like tan brown stitching all over the interior with the brown seats, and they're honestly really comfortable. They're definitely not like a sports seat, but they're a super comfy seat, and it definitely has that like luxury high class feel to it. Back seats are matching, which is really cool. They also look great. The seats are heated front and rear, which is a pretty neat feature for a 2015. The steering wheel is this really nice leather, very soft leather actually. It feels great to hold. It feels like it's very durable. It'll last a long time. The leather in the car honestly does feel of great quality. Even things like the center console have this nice brown leather on it, all the way to the armrest, which opens up to be like a center console. It's pretty neat. It has a bunch of really neat features like soft closed doors. It has adaptive headlights, comfort access. It has a heads-up display, which is really cool. It's right when you're looking at the dash, at the cluster. Right above it, it gives you your miles per hour. And during the daytime, the whole dash and the heads-up display is white. And then when it gets to like nighttime, they turn orange, which is really cool. But yeah, the rest of the touch points inside the car, it feels really nice. A couple crunchy bits here and there, like this area where the vents are. But other than that, like everything feels very nice to the touch, from the buttons for the radio to your little center console analog. Even the shifter, you know, it all feels really good. You got two nice cup holders up front and a little pocket that actually holds the key in it, which is pretty neat. So I'm gonna take this car on a small drive. Anything else that I notice about the interior, I will mention, but for the most part, I'm gonna be focusing on how it drives, its driving characteristics, and just overall my opinions on it. Okay, so without further ado, let's get driving in the 2015 535. So, at first impressions, just normally driving like I would every day. The car feels super comfortable. The suspension is really soft. It holds me nice. Like I don't feel any of the bumps in the road. Given this is a really comfortable road to be driving on, it's so well paved. But the sound deadening is great in here. Like you don't hear a thing. The road noise is super minimal. Like this car feels super high class right now to me, especially with this nice brown interior. I'm such a sucker for a brown interior. Not sure if you can see it on the POV cam, but there's a little heads-up display right in the middle. I love these heads-up displays, man. They're so cool. It's got a little exhaust work, I think. I hear it. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, it feels super, super polished, like super well put together. It feels like a very refined car. It definitely feels like it needs nothing the way it is right now. So I was told about this pretty neat feature with the sound system. I can't really display the sound systems all that well in these videos because of copyright problems. But if I go to, I think it was menu, multimedia, I'm looking over there, tone, and then you click on Bang & Olufsen, you have this thing called expanded audio, which is like a 360 surround sound audio. It's like floor speakers, everything, the whole 9 yards. Apparently it's a really nice feature. But yeah, everything feels really good in this car. You have little paddle shifters, which is pretty cool. I believe this is the M Sport edition, so I think only the M Sport came with the paddles, the regular one didn't. It's got a nice little pickup to it. I don't think I'm in sport mode right now, so this is just kind of like normal driving. Give me a shift, buddy. It takes the corners nice though. Better than you'd expect from the car being so kind of fluffy on the normal driving. When you get into a corner, it actually kind of goes with you. It's like, yeah, I want to do this. So it looks like right here I can put into sport or comfort mode. So let's try kicking up into sport real quick. Sport, I was in sport, but now I'm in sport plus, so. Take some turns. Feels nice. Inline 6 is nice. It's very constant power band. It has a pretty nice pull to it, I'm not gonna lie. It has a pretty nice pull. It definitely feels like a heavy car though. Like, I can feel that this thing's pulling some weight when it tries to accelerate. Oh, the transmission actually shifts nice when you have the paddles. That was fast. Yeah, the trans actually likes to shift with the paddles more than not. Oh, it feels really good. It actually feels super planted. It feels so stable. It's like you're driving a car that was meant to go fast. Like, there are fast cars that weren't meant to go fast, but then there are cars like this where I'm not going to call it a fast car. It feels quick, yeah. It's got some power, but I don't feel like it's a fast car. But it feels like it was meant to go fast. That is fun to shift like that. Bing. It's kind of like a nice, the cluster here is like a nice mix between analog and digital. I really like that because I personally hate digital like dashboards, like clusters, but this is really nice. It's kind of like a mix. You get the analog tachometer, the analog speedometer, but then you get your kind of digital stuff down there and all kind of other little gauges that are digital. It's really nice. It's a nice mix. I feel like you could easily hit 150 in this car and not feel a thing. It feels so stable. It's rock solid. And on top of feeling like a nice car, it has a really aggressive and kind of mean, nasty look to it. The front end is all kind of, it's like snarling at you. It's really cool. It has these nice wheels, the really nice OEM wheels. It has a little lip on the back. It's a 4-door. It honestly, like, it has a little bit of everything in it. It's like a jack of all trades, master of none, maybe. That transmission is addictive. I really like that. I really like this transmission. That is pretty cool. And then you can just like put it in regular comfort mode and just daily drive it. It's pretty cool. Wow, turning radius is surprisingly good in this car. Oh yeah. It's so fun to drive. Like, this is one of the more fun automatic cars that I've driven. Like in terms of like the transmission actually feels fun to drive, even though it's an automatic. It feels really good. It does not feel nimble whatsoever, but it feels really good to take into long, sweeping corners, especially with that all-wheel drive feature. I don't really have any fear that the back end is going to slip out or I'm going to understeer anything. It feels very controllable, very predictable. This feels pretty updated for a 2015. Like, if you put this car in front of me without telling me any information about it and you're like, guess the year, I would probably guess somewhere around 2019, 2020. It just feels so like kind of timeless in here. Really comfortable though. Like, it's so quiet in here for having, you know, for being like a sporty kind of car. It's so quiet in here. All right, I'm gonna get a smidge of I'm gonna see how the all-wheel drive system goes. Grip's nice. It has a nice grip to it. It's so crazy. This car like switches over to being a sports car as soon as you start driving it hard. It's like you drive it normally and it feels like your regular like dad sedan, but then you start driving it like it's not one and it behaves. It's like, yeah, let's do it. But then once you go back to driving normally, it calms down. It's like it has a temper tantrum. It has an attitude problem and it loves it. It loves giving a little attitude. It's so funny. Yeah, really nice car. Super solid, like just a regular sedan, super comfortable, but then it turns into kind of like a really nice sporty car. But it's, you know, it's not the best at like, it's not the best at anything, but it's really good at a lot of things. So you have, it's all-wheel drive, so, you know, it's good all year round if you live in a snowy area. It has inline-six turbo, so it definitely has tuning potential. It's a sedan, it could fit people, it sounds good. It's super comfortable, super quiet, very dailyable. but then, you know, it does have some characteristics of a sportier car, which is really nice, because say you can only have one car, you know, and you want to go to the track on the weekend, but you gotta go 9 to 5 during the week. I think this is a good car for both of those things. Like, it's not going to be the best at a daily, because I'm sure it eats a little bit of gas, but it's not going to be the best as a track car. But if you can get kind of like a good mix of the two worlds, this is a really good option. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and rate this car. So the way I do my ratings is off of two things. One, on sportiness out of 100, just how I feel the car performs as a sports car out of 100. And then two, as a daily driver car, or how it would be for a daily driver. And then I give a final verdict of would I buy it, yes or no. I'm not 100% sure what these cars go for, like used or at a dealer or on Facebook, so I can't really make any basis off the price line. So going with sportiness, it does have sporty characteristics. It's nothing crazy. It has a decent amount of acceleration. It has a very high potential engine. You know, it's got the inline 6 with a turbo. That's always a good sign, because you can always either put a bigger turbo on or tune it and probably pump out like 450 horsepower out of this thing. It's all-wheel drive, so you know you're not going to be losing any grip anywhere. The handling is pretty dang good, I'm not going to lie. It's surprising. It handles surprisingly well for its weight and for its size. It is a larger car, you know. So for the sport category, I'm going to have to give it a 72, I think. It's not blowing my socks off in terms of sportiness, in terms of acceleration and handling, but it has those characteristics when you want it. So if you want a car that kind of does both things, this definitely has some sporty characteristics to it, and it has a lot of potential. So, you know, that being said, tuned, modified, I'm sure this car would be a much better sports car. You put some nice suspension, you put a bigger turbo, and you call it a day. It becomes a freaking amazing car. So let's go on to the daily ability category. This car I'm gonna have to give probably for daily, probably an 80. It has good space. You know, it's got front and rear seats. There's plenty of space behind me for the back seats. It has a nice trunk. The interior is super comfortable. The sound deadening is great. I could drive this car for 20 hours and probably feel very minimal fatigue. But then you have the thing like where, you know, the gas mileage isn't great. That's really the only thing holding this car back from being a really perfect daily. So the miles per gallon, kind of lacking in that department. But you know what? I think it also takes premium, which is a little bit more expensive, not so great for daily ability. I think it's a reliable car. I haven't done too much research on it. I'm just grateful to be able to review the car. So with all that being said, my final verdict on would I buy the car or not, personally, for me, you know, I've had cars made by BMW. I had a Mini Cooper. So for me personally, I'm not a fanatic for German cars or for Volkswagens or BMWs or anything like that. I have nothing against them though. I would definitely buy one. I've owned plenty of German cars in the past. I had a Golf R, I had a Mini Cooper S. So I've got nothing against German cars in general. I've never owned a BMW, but the Mini Cooper kind of. But would I buy it? I don't think so. Just personally, I think there's a lot of other cars out there that would pique my interest before this one does. But like, if you're a person who really likes BMWs and you have the money for one of these, like, I'm not really 100% sure what this car is competing with. Maybe other all-wheel drive cars, like a Golf R, like a Lexus something. You know, it's a pretty standard sedan with a bit of a beefier engine, if you will. So yeah, not for me, but if you're a BMW fanatic and this just happens to fall into your lap, or your dad got a new one and he's giving you his old one, like, don't throw it away. You know, don't sell it. Like, I think you could make something really nice out of it if you do appreciate the car. All right, so with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know maybe it was a little bit brief. This is kind of like a last-minute review, so I didn't get a chance to do too much research on the car. Big shout out to my friend Josh for letting me review his car. I really appreciate it. Check out his Instagram in the description below. He's a photographer. He does amazing photos. I think you guys really like his work. Set up a shoot with him. Anything really, or if you want to see more of this car, it'll be on his Instagram too. So thank you so much for watching. Like always, please, if you have any cars you want to see, recommend them to me. I want to accommodate for all people who want to see any car. I'd like to set it up. If you want me to review your car, I'd be happy to. Hit me up on the comments, in my DMs, send me an email, anywhere really, and let's set it up. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and have a good night.